here's how we want to start, all right? So the idea is that you can start with nothing, right? You have nothing at all, you don't know anything about programming. What you can do is you can follow along with me, and I'm going to teach you kind of 3 main programming concepts today. And if you can figure out these 3 concepts, then you can make a game. If you want to do this as I do it, you can follow along with me by going to this website I found called onlinepython.com. All right? I'll put a little link here. onlinepython.com. Or it's not a link, but it's like a little title in case you forget what it's called. We'll put it right there. Okay? And when you go to onlinepython.com, this is what you're sent with. You can just delete everything here, and then you have like a blank screen, and you can follow along with me. I'm just going to delete these advertisements really quick. This is onlinepython.com. This is like a blank screen. This is what you start out with. So these are the 3 things that we're going to learn today, right? The first thing is you're going to learn print statements. Okay? A print statement is just code that you write that outputs text to the screen. All right? The second thing we're going to learn is how to get user input. And that is so the person playing your game, the person using your program, is able to type things in, and then the computer is going to remember it. All right? It's going to use variables to remember what the user typed in. And then the third thing we're going to learn is if statements. All right? If statements are they're conditional statements, so that if a variable equals one value, you do one thing. If a variable equals a different value, you do something else. All right? And I'm going to go into more detail on all these things. But these are the 3 things that I'm going to try and teach you, and if you can learn them, then you can make a game. That's all it is. All right? So we're going to keep this on the screen, and I'm going to go through the things one by one. The first thing is print statements, all right? So a print statement is, if you're on onlinepython.com, all you do is you type print, and then you type 2 parentheses. You type double quotes, and then you type anything that you want to be printed in there, all right? So if you said, hi, my name is MK Bryce. If you just type this in, this is the only line on your whole screen. You click F8 on your keyboard, or actually you can click run here. And then this is your program running, right? So the program ran this line, it said print MK Bryce, and it printed it out. If you change what it says here, and then you click run, it'll change what is printed out by the program. Now you can do multiple lines of this too. So if you were to copy and paste this, you can say, hi, my name is. Then you can say, this line is MK Bryce. And you can say, this is nice to meet you. And when you run the program, it's going to run those lines in sequence. So it prints out the first line, the second line, the third line. And that's all a print statement is, all right? Now, what makes it a little more advanced, a little more programmy, is if you use a variable to print something out. So a variable is a way to store information. So if you said this is going to be variable equals hi, my name is, then you can print out that variable instead, and that variable, this word, we'll call it like intro. Right? So intro is the name of the variable. That stores this information, so when you print it out, it looks the exact same, right? You could say this channel is called, and whenever you change this, it stores that information here, and it says this channel is called MK Bryce, nice to meet you. All right? So for now, let's just say name. and I'm gonna call this MK Bryce. You can call whatever you want. You can call it your name. Hi, my name is name. Nice to meet you. Right? And then so now whatever name equals is what gets printed out second. All right. So now we're gonna go, that's number one, right? You're already a third of the way there. The second thing we're gonna learn now is user input. So we'll start with what we have before, but now let's say, if we're gonna give our program to someone else, we want them to type in their own name, right? We don't know necessarily. If I'm giving someone else, their name isn't MK Bryce, their name isn't Adakon, we're gonna let them type in whatever name they want. And so to do that, you just have to remember a little bit of code, which is, it's a function called the input function. And it looks like this. All right, so that is, you type input, INPUT, and then in parentheses, this is gonna be printed out to the screen. Whatever you type is gonna be printed out to the screen, and it's gonna be what the user sees. So you have to tell the user to input the information that they want to be stored. So for example, you could put, please enter your name, all right? And then what's gonna happen is the user's gonna see this information, they're gonna have the opportunity to type something into your program, and whatever they type, it gets stored in the variable called name. All right, so when we run it, oh, whoops. We're gonna get rid of what we typed before here. When we run it, it's gonna say, please enter your name. Please enter your credit card info. All right, and you know what? That works too. Whatever program you wanna make, I'm happy with it. We can make a virus next time, maybe. So please enter your name. If I type, credit card info, if my name is credit card info, then what happens is the name credit card info gets stored to the name variable. Then it goes to the next line. It says, hi, my name is. It prints out the variable that the user inputted, which is credit card info. And then it prints out, nice to meet you. All right? And that's user input, right? So we're flying already. That's 2/3 of the way done right now. You could say, please enter your credit card info. Your information is now stolen. That is your credit card info. There you go, your information is now stolen, that's your credit card info. So simple. All right, 2/3 of the way there. Now if statements. All right, so we're gonna take what we just did. Now this is where it gets really interesting, all right? So now what you can do is, let's say we've stolen someone's credit card info. You can say, so an if statement gives the user a choice, gives the program a choice, all right? So the way that we're gonna use it is we're gonna say, we're gonna store information into the variable called choice, and we're gonna say, so say we've stolen their credit card info, we're gonna say, would you like to pay the ransom, right? And then we'll say, type 1 for yes, 2 for no, all right? So we're expecting the user to either type 1 into our prompt or 2, and either 1 or 2 is going to be stored into the variable called choice. Now, an if statement looks like this. It's going to say if choice equals, and we're going to put 2 equal signs here, all right? If choice equals 1, and then you're going to put a colon after it. So what the program is going to do, what Python is going to do, is it's going to check the variable choice and see if the value stored in choice is the number 1. If that's true, then you can have it print something out, right? It's going to say, So if the users, if they type 1 for yes, right? So if they want to pay the ransom, we can print out $1 million has been deducted from your account. And then otherwise, right? So if choice is 1, we deduct $1 million from their account. The other option, right? So if choice 1, and then you type elif, right? So that's short for else if, right? You can just do ELIF. So this is like a different option, right? So if choice is not equal to 1, we can say, all right, if choice equals 2. Remember, you got to do 2 equal signs, and remember, you have to do a colon after it. Also, be sure that the print statement you put in is indented, right? So there has to be a tab on the inside. It should do that automatically, but the program is only going to run the commands that are indented in. Once something is not indented in, it's no longer under this if statement, okay? So we're going to indent in for the stuff that's under choice number 2, which is no, they don't want to pay the ransom. If they don't pay the ransom, all right, fine. Your identity is now stolen. Good luck. So the idea is that they're gonna enter their credit card info. So let's start from the beginning, okay? Our program is gonna run. The first thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna say, please enter your credit card info. They're gonna type it in, and that information is gonna be stored in this variable called name. We'll make it credit card. Credit card. So the first thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna ask the user, please enter your credit card info. Their credit card info is gonna be stored to the variable called credit card. Then it's gonna say your information is now stolen. It's gonna print that out. It's gonna print out their credit card info, and it's gonna say, this is your credit card info. Then it's gonna get more user input. It's gonna say, would you like to pay the ransom? Type 1 for yes or 2 for no. Then no matter what they type, it's gonna be stored in this variable called choice. Then it's gonna hit this if statement, all right? If choice equals 1, which is equivalent to yes, it's gonna print out $1 million has been deducted from your account. If choice is 2, it's gonna say, fine, your identity is now stolen. All right, so now this is like, whatever the user types has an effect on what happens in the program. But that's how it starts, all right? And so now it starts getting interesting, right? Because now, let's say we wanna have different paths. Let's say instead of $1 million deducted from your account, we could say, maybe we give them more options. Like maybe it seems like either $1 million is deducted from their account or their identity is stolen. The person can't win, right? If we're gonna try and make this a game, maybe we should give them different options so maybe there's a way that they can succeed, right? So maybe if they say they don't want to pay the ransom, we try and convince them to pay the ransom. Would that be funny? We could say, we'll make this a new input, right? So we'll call this choice 2. We'll make this a new input and we'll say, you have to pay the ransom or your identity will be stolen. Type 1 to pay, 2, type 1 to pay, type 2 to not pay. All right? And then we can just do another if statement, right? So after we go here, we're gonna say, all right, now if choice, C-H-O-I-C-E, choice 2 equals 1. So, all right, so now if they eventually pay, then we'll say this again, right? We'll say $1 million been deducted from your account. Elif, if they still don't pay, if choice 2 equals 2, remember you gotta do 2 equal signs, remember the quotes, remember this colon. All right, choice 2, they're still not gonna pay. What should we do then? Maybe we say, what are some other options? We could give them, Lock all his data. Oh, good idea. Print. Your data is now locked. I don't know. I can't think of a creative way to do it. Your data is now locked. All of your precious photos and documents are gone. You can get them back by... Wait. The ransom is now $2 million. And then maybe we'll switch it around, right? We'll say, press 1 if you hate your data. Press 2 to pay the ransom, right? Oh wait, this has to be an input, right? So we have to say choice 3 equals, this is an input, not a print. And then we say if choice 3 equals 1. And actually, here's something too, ready? So we can add this. Instead of saying 1 or 2, I just did that because it's simple. We can make this anything we want. It doesn't have to be 1 or 2. We could say type, I hate my data. Or type data if you hate your data. Press 2 to pay the ransom. And then if choice 3 equals 2, then we'll do the same thing. We say now $2 million has been deducted from your account. Otherwise, right? Else if, ELIF, choice 3 equals data, then it keeps going, right? We're trying to get them to pay our dang ransom. So how else can we convince them? Choice 4 equals input. I hate you. You suck. I'm just gonna bully them. Pay the ransom. Pay the ransom. You're supposed to be scared. Type if you're scared. Or type or type 1 to pay the ransom. And I'll leave you alone. Type 2 if you aren't scared at all. All right? Maybe this will be the last one. We'll say if choice 4 equals 1. If we finally got them and they're scared and they pay the ransom, we'll say we print $2 million has been deducted from your account. Finally, if they get this far, they just win. Choice 4 equals 2, right? They're not scared at all. Print. Fine, you win. All right, and that'll be it. That'll be the end of the game. All right, so it works if we press 2, but data isn't working. Oh, it works now. Oh, that was weird. All right, we'll try again. All right, let's test it out. Let's see if it works. And your credit card info, 8008135. Yep, good. Your information is now stolen. This is your credit card info. Would you like to pay the ransom? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. No. You have to pay the ransom. Your identity will be stolen. Type 1 to pay, type 2 to not pay. 2, I don't pay. The ransom is now $2 million. Type data if you hate your data. Type 2 to pay the ransom. All right, we're gonna type data. I hate you. You suck. Pay the ransom. You're supposed to be scared. Type 1 to pay the ransom and I'll leave you alone. Type 2 if you aren't scared at all. 2, I'm not scared at all. Fine, you win. Game over, we win! I'll get you next time. Yeah, good call. Fine, you win. I'll get you next time. Good, good addition, I like that. And then let's just check to make sure some of these failures work. Would you like to pay the ransom? Let's say we get all the way to the end. Or no, say we get all the way to the end, so no, not pay. I hate my data, but then say we get here. Type 1 to pay the ransom, I'll leave you alone. 1. $2 million has been deducted from your account. Nice. And maybe we'll just put like a you lose. You lose. And we'll put that on all these ones so they know they're not supposed to pay the ransom. Nice. And that's it, right? That's like a very, it's not a whole lot, right? It's no blood and guts and gore, sword fighting, but it's like a basic game, right? Type 1 for yes. All right, we could say, would you like to pay the ransom? No. No. Let's say, all right, $2 million, press 2 to pay the ransom. If you just keep pressing 2, then you lose. All right, so that's something. And that's it, right? It's not much, but for, you know, how long does this take? 30 minutes? Just basic game, starting from nothing? That's a game. It's something. This is Python. If you do this, you're programming. I mean, I would pay. It's pretty scary, right? It's a pretty scary virus. So now, I mean, you have the tools to make your own game. And I think I would encourage you to try making your own game. I'm gonna put a link to this Google Drive folder in chat, and I'm gonna make a YouTube video. I'll put this in the YouTube video also. How do I share this? Wait a minute. Manage access. Anyone with the link, copy the link. So I'm gonna copy it into here, right? And then I'm gonna add my code in here so you can try it yourself. I'll put website to use onlinepython.com. All right. So if you see, and so just to show you that it works, right? If you go to onlinepython.com, you just take every single thing from this document, you paste it in, and then you run it. And then the game works just like that. Right? So if you like haven't been following around a lot, excuse me. If you haven't been following along, you can just kind of do this whenever you want. MK Bryce's game. Let me make sure that anyone on the internet with the link can view. Perfect. And now that we're here, right? The access to this is anyone with the link can edit. All right. So I want you to be able to add things to the folder, but not edit my file. Wait. MK Bryce's game should be viewer. All right, I think this will work. Oh no, it's gotta be edit. Okay, so now, really nice game, but how do you make this into an exe? That's very hard. So right, so I can look at that next week too. I'll add that to my notes. Make into exe. So next week we'll do timer. We'll figure out how to add time to the game. We'll figure out how to add, I think, random numbers into the game would be fun too. And how to make it into an exe. We'll do that next week. But until then, right, from now until then, I'd encourage you to make your own game, right? Go to onlinepython.com, make a game, and then copy and paste the code into a document and put it in this folder, right? And you should be able to access this folder. You can put it in. And then anyone else who, like, I'll put this on YouTube, anyone who watches the video can add their own stuff. They can play each other's stuff. And I think that would be really fun. So if you have any interest in that, give it a shot. I'm going to leave this open, you know, indefinitely.